Hello there, this is Rob with you until 10 o'clock, and a warm welcome to another week on Luxembourg. Are you ready for a little sprinkling of our top 20? Well, at 19 this week, there's a drop for Genesis, Many Too Many.
Many too many.
Rob Jones, what is special about your shows?
My shows, well, they're red and they're pretty
No, your shows.
Oh, my shows! I thought you
Yes.
meant my shoes.
No.
My shows. Well, my shows, on my show on the radio, basically what we're trying to do is pick out things that are going to be hits, records that are new, and I have a producer in London who I work with quite closely, and we try and pick records that are going to be hits. Sometimes we're very wrong, and sometimes we come up with a good one.
Who owns Radio Luxembourg?
Well, there you got me. I don't really know because it's a private company, so therefore there is a board of directors and there are shareholders. But exactly who, I don't know. I mean, I could give you the list of board of directors, but that really wouldn't mean anything to the listener.
So it's a private
It's a private company.
Yeah. In how many languages do you broadcast?
English, French, German, Dutch, Luxembourgish, Italian, Norwegian, and then there are some minority languages on shortwave, I think Portuguese and Czechoslovak. But I'm not really familiar with those.
How many people work here altogether, do you know?
Well, if you take Radio Tele Luxembourg as an overall organization, there are just over 1,000 people. But in this particular building, there are about 350 to 400.
How many English disc jockeys are you?
Here, the disc jockeys, there are just 7 English disc jockeys here.
Come on, Dance Dance Saturday Night Band at 3, and at 2 is It's a Love Thing from Radio. That means this week's number 1 is KC and the Sunshine Band with a revamped version of the old 1965 Four Tops classic, the same old song.
Between what hours do you send in English?
We start at 9 o'clock Luxembourg time, which I believe in Sweden is 8 o'clock.
Yes.
So for Swedish listeners, it would be from 8 o'clock until 3:45 for the summer months.
Who decides what to play?
Well, the music is vetted in London by Tony Prince, who is our program director, and by his staff over there. It would be impossible to play every record that came out. In England, there are about 100 records a week released. He receives these records from the record companies and vets it down to the type of music which we are interested in playing, and takes the best of that particular kind of music and sends it over to us here.
Yeah. The fear for commercial TV or radio in Sweden is that the sponsors or advertisers will have too much influence on the programs. Do you think this is the case with Radio Luxembourg at all?
Well, it's certainly not the case with Radio Luxembourg because the sponsor or the advertiser has no say-so in programming at all.
Luxembourg on a Wednesday night, 208 meters in the medium wave, 1439 kilohertz. It's City Boy after this.
Every Thursday at 2 o'clock, you get a chance to beat the jock. If you have a phone, there's a chance to use it. Just think of a question on pop music and call me live on 208 from 2 o'clock until quite late. You can try to baffle me with questions on pop history. And if you beat me fair and square, I'll send you an album through the air. And if you lose, you'll still be heard in Beat the Jock on Luxembourg. Big L, Radio Luxembourg.
5705. But there's no reply. 5705. Got myself just one more dime.
My speciality? Well, Thursday nights we do a program called Beat the Jock, where anybody can phone in from anywhere in Europe, including Sweden, and ask me any question on pop history. And I use no books in the studio, and if they beat me, they win an album. Sounds very big-headed, doesn't it?
Yeah. Do you think you have a good contact with your audience?
I'd like to think so, yeah. It's very difficult sitting so far away. I mean, some people are listening thousands of miles away. And it can be difficult, but I'm used to talking to myself, so I just sit here rabbiting to myself and talking away, and, you know.
Mm-hmm. Any fan mail?
Oh, lots of fan mail. Mum, keep writing. No, my mother sends me lots and lots of letters telling me how wonderful I am. And a few other people send letters as well.
Why don't you have any female disc jockeys here?
Well, they're usually pretty awful. They usually think too much about themselves. They worry too much about how they sound and what they're like, rather than relaxing, I think. I could be wrong.
Do you take your job seriously?
Very seriously, yes, definitely. Thanks.
How would you describe a good radio station for young people?
A good radio station for young people. Well, they want to hear music that is not only current, but music that's going to be new in 2 or 3 weeks' time. You've always got to be one step ahead. You've got to be playing good music that is current, and you've got to know what you're talking about. I think the kids aren't stupid. As soon as they're aware that you don't quite know what you're talking about, then you've had it.
How many listeners do you think you have during one night?
During the course of the night in Britain, around about 3 million. If we took in Europe, we can only hazard a calculated guess. We don't really know for sure because we've not done a complete European survey. But if we talk about a period of 1 week with the entire European audience, it's probably around 40 million.
So what is special about your shows?
Well, the particular programs that I do on a Tuesday, it's the top 40 singles. So it's the first rundown of the new records that are making it big. On a Wednesday, I then do the albums, and this is a program, a 2-hour program of the best available albums to Radio Luxembourg. It's not done on sales, it's just simply a sampling of what we consider to be the best albums. But my pet baby, the one that I really love most, is the country music show, which is on a Saturday night.
You have a gimmick. What's that? I've heard.
You know, it's my legs. I've got the most fabulous legs in the world. People come from miles and miles to RTL here in Luxembourg to see my legs, but they have to pay, so you're not seeing them.
People actually call to the station.
Oh, to see my legs, yeah.
No, but during your broadcasting, they can't call
they
you.
ring up.
And what do they want?
They want to know how my legs are.
Yeah.
They ring up and say, "How are your legs today, Rob?" And I would say, "Well, my legs are okay, you know.
Yeah.
Sometimes my legs aren't feeling so good."
Yeah. Isn't that disturbing you in your work?
Not really, because I'm a communicator. I'm communicating with people. And if they come back to me and react to something I've just said, that's good. It means that I've communicated it properly.
How would you describe a good radio station for young people?
Radio Luxembourg.
Radio Luxembourg.